Can't see a thing.
Look at that, sorry Jancy.
What happens to that? What happens to that, Richard?
I'll take that.
Oh, that's from solid.
Solid, that was solid. He was our Chosan Torah.
He was a lovely man.
Your side.
Say again?
These are your side.
I don't know. Yes, yeah. They're from the home. Yeah, they're from the home. That's what we used to. I'm just going to have a word with this young man down here. So we got. Yeah.
Everything you need. I'll leave it. Alright, Colin. They're going to have a meeting with these. Well, there's some more positive than others. Yeah. Okay. Take a look.
When I'm speaking,
Okay.
there's no doors on here.
The shutters, pull it down.
It's a bit like the shop, isn't it? Shows you the steps.
It's really, you can't sit down with the arm. Okay, that's fine.
That's it.
Go shopping.
Good.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it's 1 o'clock, didn't we?
No,
He's got COVID.
he's poorly. Amen. 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 Shalom. Amen.
Well, I'm not going to lay down my message for the meeting. You first of all. Also, you know, the heavy shit of that much in there, but still have to say no much in there for
Amen. 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 Aleinu Shabbat. Amen.
It is indeed a sad day for our, not just for the Hasidic, for the community, that we've lost this wonderful home, and for us we've lost this wonderful shul. But what started 120 years ago in some room down in, I think, was it Bridge Street or somewhere, I don't know, the Hasidic got together and they formed a little community, and then eventually they got the Shub and Spencer place, and from Spencer place we moved on, and eventually we ended up here. So 120 years ago, and we're still going, and this is not the end. This is just the end of a chapter. We're going now to amalgamate with the Queen's Hills, and we're going to continue for as long as possible. We've all got great memories of this place, I'm sure, all the congregation. Not just of the Shul, but of being here in the home and meeting all the wonderful residents, hundreds and hundreds of residents over the years that have participated in the services and made it a wonderful place for us as well. We've all got our own personal memories. Me and Shelley, we were married here, entered into the service for us here 25 years ago. Sophie, she was bat mitzvahed here. My younger son was even had his bris here, the younger son, in the room next door. We've all had personal simchas and great times in this shul, and I'm sure we're going to take them to remember them forever. So it's the end of a chapter, and even though it's a sad time, we must rejoice that we're still in business and we continue. And I just thank everybody, those that are here and those that are not here, that have supported the Hasidic over the years, and hopefully we'll continue getting support and continue. That's all I need to say. Thank you, Anthony.
Secure.
Mr. Mancock, Mr. President, honorary officers, members of the Hasidic Shul. This is indeed a very poignant moment that this building is closing down after years of service to the Jewish community. First of all, the loss of the Jewish home, which has served this community since 1923, since its existence began in a tenement building in Calvert Street around 1955, 1956, I believe. It moved onto this site, and we've seen magnificent extensions over the years. And over the years, our elder members of the community have enjoyed comfort, pleasure, rest, medical care, treatment, until very recently. But we know with the passage of times and the demography of communities, things change. Understanding on the very day in 1981, when the shul in Spencer Place closed down, and the address was given by eminent personalities. And then you moved to the Talmud Torah, and you were there for quite a number of years, and then circumstances changed, and then you eventually found your home here in Donnersthorpe Hall. If, chas v'shalom, God forbid, this was the day when the Hasidic Shul was being disbanded, like, unfortunately, when we had to close down communities in Yorkshire, like the Bradford Hebrew congregation, where although they exist as a congregation, they don't have a regular place to meet. That would be a tragedy, but this is not the case with the Hasidic Shul, thank God. You found a welcoming home in the Queen's Hills. And please God, we've come to an arrangement with them, a Sholomdik way. Could you imagine moving into new premises, coming to a Sholomdik way, a very peaceful way, with the approbation of the Beis Din of Leeds, that the Nusach is going to continue as Nusach Hari, as I believe, in the Queen's Hills, which is a remarkable thing to be able to do. And preserve a tradition. After all, what is Yiddishkeit about? It's about preserving a tradition. But you'll be doing more than that. This shul was renowned over the years for one thing, a warmkeit, a very welcoming nature. Yeah, after all, you were Hasidim. Hasidim, yeah, what's the optimum view of a Chassid? It's that his glass is never half empty. Yeah? It's never half empty, it's half full. There is always with a Chassid, yeah, he believes in the basic principles of Ivdu es Hashem b'simcha, that he has to serve Hashem with simcha, with joy. And this is something you've always done, and you will continue to do. So, okay, today we're saying goodbye to this noble and beautiful building that served as your synagogue since around, well, when did you move in here?
96.
1996. So it's 96, so for 25 years more or less pre-pandemic, yeah, this noble building served as your synagogue. And it was a beautiful atmosphere to come here and daven. It's a hard thing to say, but it's true. It's only bricks and mortar. Chas v'shalom, you weren't here to be able to go to another place. That would be a travesty. But Baruch Hashem, you're all here. You're able to get up, like we've all seen in Fiddler on the Roof. Yeah, well, we're going to take a Sefer Torah out in a few moments' time, and we have to make a declaration, and I'm making this declaration now, in your presence, to witness it, that with the removal of a Sefer Torah from this building, this synagogue, this building, this part of the building, the Kedusha, the sanctity, comes to an end. But like in the story of Anna Tekva in the Fiddler on the Roof, yeah, you see them trudging off to a new place, carrying the Sifrei Torah, carrying all the ritual appurtenances, Sidurim, one thing or another, and they're going to various parts of the world. And somebody shouts out, remember tell Uncle Avraham that we're going to Chicago. Thank God, you're not going to Chicago, but you are going up the road to the Queen's Hills. And Be'ezras Hashem, you'll be supported there by the whole of the community. You'll be supported by the Klei Kodesh, I'm sure. Rabbi Kleinman, Rabbi Dan Cooperman, myself, will be able to take an occasional Shabbos or Yom Tov to be able to come and participate with you. And it's only because of circumstances beyond Dan Cooperman's control at the last moment that he's not been able to be with us here today. So I want to say this. You've done well here. You've always done well in the past. Chassidish Shul in Leeds. Yeah. I remember the time as a small child, there was a very, very great, effusive Rav in Leeds who was the chairman of the rabbinical court, the Av Beis Din at the time from 1952 to 1965, the later lamented Rabbi Dr. Hillel Medalia. He had a minute on Yom Kippur that by Kol Nidre he davened in Newton Road. By Shachris he davened in Street Lane. It was the hut at the time. By mincah he came to daven with his Chassidim at the Chassidish Shul in Spencer Place, and by Ne'ilah he came back to Newton Road. And when else did he go? He came by Shmini Atzeres. Why? Because he came from Vitesse. Yeah, at heart he was a chassid in a misnagdisha, in a non-Hasidic atmosphere in Leeds. But he always used to enjoy the beauty of the traditions of the Hasidic Shul. And these will all continue, I'm sure, in the Queen's Hill Synagogue, together with the support of Rabbi Conway, to have a harmonious, a Shalom Dika atmosphere, that you will be able to build bridges together and you'll be able to go from strength to strength. The Seder yesterday was Truma. He talks about the Eibishter giving instruction to Bnei Israel to build a sanctuary in order that Hashem should dwell in it. Hashem will dwell with you in the Queen's Hills, Be'ezras Hashem, for many, many years to come. You have the willpower, you have the strength, and above all, you have the beauty of your tradition to continue mechoil al choil from strength to strength. So I ask you now if you would please stand. Mr. Machman, come forward. Take the Sefer Torah from the Yad Kodesh. We need to have the of opening the Yad Kodesh. Mr. Peel, if you'd like to pass the Sefer Torah to Mr. Mankoff. Okay, so if you will now encircle the bimah and then walk to the door, we'll sing together.
Om Hashem Allah, B'Terem Kol Yasir Lifa, Yeh Sasa Esakol. Who سخبيت الهولة سهودسا هو خيبة علي أخشور ديبه سوا أخوي سيبة نسي أستسيب يربخا يعطو أفكيدك إيش سابر يوليلا في الخيك وتفتي أدون علي لوليك شكاية
Gilbert for being here, conducting the service for us today. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you everybody for coming.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's
How's your daughter and grandchild?
Lovely. Can we have all that? Thank you for coming there. Joshua, thank you. Yeah, the last bar mitzvah boy in the shoulders is here with us. So, lovely thing for that one. Please God you'll join us in Queensland, yeah? Yeah, you must come. Can you have the sit away back? Any more stories?
Yes.
Keep on taking.
Here, Richard.
Richard and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's a gradual thing, right? I mean, even